Hello and welcome to another rendition of Math is Easy Step by Step. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about multiplying with fractions. In my opinion, this is the easiest of the tasks when it comes to fractions. When you multiply with fractions, you multiply straight up top number to the top number, and then you multiply the bottom number to the bottom number. Now you want to remember it is extremely important with your final answer to reduce or simplify that final answer. Now you can perform what is called a cross reduction, or you just can simplify the fraction terms before you multiply. I will show you how to do this in a moment. Of course, your final answer needs to be reduced. But if you perform the cross reduction or you simplify prior to multiplying, then you do it correctly, then you will not need to reduce your answer. So let's go ahead and take a look at some examples of reducing or simplifying. So here we got problem number 1. And right now we're not doing any multiplication. I'm just going to show you how to reduce or simplify the fraction prior to multiplying, trying to find the product or the answer to a multiplication problem. So here I say I have 5/12 times 13/20. I'm going to show you how to cross reduce. And so first I'll look at number 12 and in the denominator and number 13 in the numerator. Is there a number other than 1 that can be divided into both of these terms equally without a remainder? And the answer is no. So then I'll look at the other two, numerator, denominator, and see is there a number I can divide into 5 and 20 evenly without having a remainder? And yes, I can divide 5 into both 5 and 20. So here I'm showing you 5 divided by 5 and then 20 divided by 5. And here is the reduced fractions. We have 5 divided by 5 is 1. I'm just going to rewrite the 12 times. 13 cannot be reduced, so I'll just rewrite the 13. And in the denominator, 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now we have two reduced, simplified fractions. From here, you can multiply top to top, bottom to bottom, and you'd have a completed, simplified answer. Okay, so let's take a look at problem number 2. Here in problem number 2, and again, if I'm going too fast, don't worry, you can stop, rewind, and rewatch any segment of this video. Number 2, we have 1 over 100, and this is just another symbol for multiplication. It means times 10 over 23. The arrow is indicating a next step in the process. So is there a number I can divide into 23 and 1 other than 1 evenly without having a remainder? The answer is no. So now I'll look at both 10 and 100. Is there a number I can divide evenly into these two numbers without getting a remainder other than 1? And yes, 10 will be divided into 10 evenly, and 10 will divide into 100 evenly. So we have the denominator of this ratio or fraction. 100 divided by 10 is 10. I'm just going to rewrite the 1 because there's nothing I can do. I'll rewrite the multiplication symbol here. 10 divided by 10 is 1. And since I'm not doing anything with the 23 in the denominator, I will move that over. Hey, you now have a reduced problem where you can multiply top to top, bottom to bottom, and your answer will be in reduced form. I got another example here I'd like to show you. Take a look here if I can get the little sticky note off. Wow, that was tough. It was a tough one here. So we have number 3. We have 3 divided by 12 times 2 divided by 4. Remember, every fraction is a division problem. Can I divide a number other than 1 into 3 and 4 and not have a remainder? No. Only 1 will divide evenly into both of those numbers. Is there a number I can divide into 2 and 12 evenly? Other than 1. that will leave me without a remainder. And yes, 2 will be divided into 2, and 2 will be divided into 12. So in this next step, I'm showing you 12 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2. Again, we are cross-simplifying, so we can multiply top to top and bottom to bottom and have a simplified answer. So I rewrite the 3 because I'm not doing anything with the 3. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Multiply times times. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I'm going to rewrite the 4. And here the rule is when you multiply fractions, you multiply top to top, bottom to bottom. Now here I have one of the exceptions to the rule. From time to time there is an exception to the rule. I have, and if I would have reduced 2/4 into 1/2 and 3 over 12 to 1 over 4, that would have simplified this problem and I wouldn't have come up to the exception of the rule. But I have 3 times 1 is 3. 6 times 4 is 24. This is not reduced fully because I know there's a number that can divide evenly into 3 and 24. 3 divides into 3 one time, and 24 divides by 3 is 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So again, I could have reduced 3 over 12, because 3 divides evenly into 3 and 12 into 1 over 4. And I could have reduced 2 over 4, because 2 divides evenly into 2 and 4, giving me 1/2. So 1/4 times 1/2 is 1/8. I wanted to show you this additional step because sometimes math is not as simple as it sounds. All right, so let's move on to a couple of other examples here. Multiplying with fractions. Step 1, again, is you would want to multiply top to top and bottom to bottom. So I am looking here, you can see multiplying these fractions. Step 1, again, top to top and bottom to bottom. 3/4 times 2/3. I could cross-reduce this here, but I want to show you what happens if you don't understand cross-reduction. And I could cross-reduce the 3 and the 3. Cross-simplify. So multiply top to top and bottom to bottom. So 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. Now, I have to reduce my answers. I have to reduce my answers if it's absolutely possible. So since I didn't cross-simplify or cross-reduce, I must simplify my answer. So I'd like to show you this step here. And so you can see here 6/12. I know I can divide 2 into top and bottom evenly. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now 3 and 6. Is there a number I can divide evenly into top and bottom without a remainder other than 1? And yes, I know 3 will be divided into top and bottom evenly. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you can see here those fractions have been reduced. Now, there's also other ways you could, other numbers that you could have chosen to reduce the overall answer of your fraction. And so I wanted to show you that here. I'm starting over with 6/12, or, right, this is the other option, 6 divided by 12. We could have divided 3 into top and bottom, because 6 is divided by 3 evenly, and 12 is divided by 3 evenly. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 4 is 12. So that reduces to 2/4, but we got to do it one more time, because 2/4 still can be reduced. 2 can be divided into top and bottom evenly. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, if you are pretty solid with your products, then you would know that we have here 6/12. You could have or reduced it by dividing 6 into top and bottom. I know 6 will be divided by 6 equals 1, and 6 times 2 is 12. So this would be our final reduced answer. So there are multiple ways to get to the same answer. And so let's go ahead and take another look, at another problem that has mixed numbers. So here, when you have mixed numbers and you're not working with proper or improper fractions, You still multiply top to top and bottom to bottom, but step one would be to convert the mixed number into a improper fraction, So we have 3 1/3 times 2 2/4. And if you need to review converting fractions, improper fractions to mixed numbers, go ahead and review my video. I've uploaded that in prior sessions. So the way to change these is you take the bottom number, 3, you multiply the whole number, you take the denominator, multiply times the constant, 3, and then you add the product. Product is an answer to a multiplication problem. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 gives you 10. And of course you would just keep the same denominator, stays the same. Times, over with this fraction, you take the denominator 4, multiply times the constant, and then add, that's the addition, add the numerator to the top number. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. You keep that same denominator, 10 over 4. And then step 2, in this type of problem, of course, when you're multiplying with fractions, proper or improper fractions, you want to multiply top to top and bottom to bottom. Convert back into a mixed number, reduce your fractions. And so here you can see 10 times 10 is 100. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, you can convert this back to a mixed number now, but I would strongly suggest you reduce these fractions prior to taking the improper fraction and converting it into a mixed number. So I know 2 will go evenly into top and bottom. There are other numbers, of course, bigger numbers we can use, but I like to show you how you can use the smaller numbers each and every time until it will no longer be reduced. 100 divided by 2 is 50. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Why? Because 50 times 2 is 100, and 6 times 2 is 12. So we have a reduced fraction, 50 divided by 6, or 56. I can divide 2 into 50, and I can divide 2 into 6. So I'm going to keep going. 50 divided by 2 is 25, because 25 times 2 is 50. And 6 divided by 2 is 3, because 3 times 2 is 6. So these are inverse operations I'm showing you. 25 over 3, is there a number I can divide into top and bottom here? I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is simply convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. You can review my video on that, converting improper fractions to mixed numbers, if you need some more assistance with that. So the rule is you take 25, you divide by 3. 3 times 8, 25 divided by 3 is 8, because 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 becomes your consonant number. What's 25 minus 24? It's 1. So the remainder becomes your numerator, and then the denominator 3 stays the same. Hey, this is Math is Easy, step by step. I hope you enjoyed this session, and look forward to more videos.